Preparing to live stream the meeting.
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
my hammock is here. Okay. Oh,
You're live.
oh, that's equally exciting and nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and so then it'll only pick up people who are on camera, just FYI. If everyone wants to come on camera,
Mhm.
it'll be cool. It doesn't need to be the Anna and Kristin show. But this is your show. I'll let you run the room.
Okay. That's great. I love it. I have I can't have the live stream up over here because that's very distracting. So I'm going to pull the speech up and have that ready. Hi, guys that are here already. It's so exciting to have you here. I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory in a second of what we're about to watch. And then we'll get into it, but we'll give it a minute here to see who else joins us. If you can come on camera, I'd love to see your faces. If not, we'll just have the Kristin and Anna show, which, fine too. Gina, good to see you, girl. So, Kristin, I was saying, Gina was my very first client post quitting. So, I had a whole business pre-pandemic, and then there was pandemic era where coaching went all the way aside, and then Gina was my first client after. And I know we have Jessica here. Jessica is a friend from a mutual group. And I don't know who AP is. I don't know what those initials are for. That's
Tell
AP
us in the chat.
history. Okay. So what we're about to watch is my first live speech in a few years, which I hadn't even really realized until it was go time. I'm like, oh, I haven't done this in a while. Um, I have spoken on stages before when I was in my retail, when I was in my corporate role before. I spoke on stages all the time. I spoke on stages up to 700 people, but this was the first time speaking on a stage where it was my content alone, not just content I had worked on for the company, but my stuff. So it was a little bit different, a little extra nerve-wracking. Kristin and I got together a couple weeks before the speech and she coached me. So if you haven't seen that, that was a really great coaching conversation that's now actually a podcast.
We should drop the link to that.
We
Yeah.
should, yeah. So Kristin made it into a podcast because it was so fire and we got so much feedback about because she coached me through exactly how to curate my speech for this event. So now we're at the other side of it. So now we did the event, had a great time. I riffed half the speech and I was like, Kristin, how about we get together? I put myself on the spot again and we watch this feedback or this replay live in front of other people and you give me feedback along the way because I wasn't being hypercritical. I was like, you know what? Hey, Emily. I was like, you know what? For the first live speech in a few years, I think I did pretty good. However, I also realized there was lots of room for opportunity and I'm open to feedback. So I figured if the feedback is going to benefit me, some of you that also are speaking live or going on stages are going to benefit from the feedback too. So I am literally sacrificing myself right now, putting myself out there for the world to see my speech and also hear the feedback of how it could be even better next time.
So I have an idea. So what's up, everybody? Good to see you. The people I don't know, good to see our online friends too. Why don't a couple people come off mute and share what made you say yes to wanting to be in this room? We just did one of these on Monday for a podcast and it was fire. And that was listen only. Um, but nonetheless, we'll be watching, we'll be commenting. So we're here on Zoom and we can use the Zoom chat to interact. And Anna's also streaming this to Facebook. So I'll try to head over to Facebook also and interact in that chat as well. But yeah, why doesn't a couple people just say why did you say yes to this? What are you hoping to get out of it? And then we can start. Gina, Emily, what's up?
Well, I wanted to commend Anna for personally inviting me to come watch it. So I was like, well, since you asked, I guess I could say yes. And I
Yeah.
wanted to see, like, I wonder what you guys did talk about at LFG Live because I wish I could have been able to go, but I was like fresh off of having a baby. And then I want to support Anna and see what cool things she's talking about and learn more about her.
Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Love that. I love the personal direct invite. I made a personal direct invite and I'm here and I'm grateful. Okay, Gina, what's up? What about you?
So happy that I was personally invited by Anna, and I'm, just like Emily said, really excited to hear some of the learns, both from everything Anna has to say and also from the feedback. So really excited.
Yeah,
Too. Me too. Thank you.
I love that. And Jessica.
I'm just really getting in Anna's energy, so I love it so much. We've intersected in another group, and so yes, the personal invite came through, and I had space, and I was like, absolutely, I want to catch more of this energy and all that it entails and all the things. So I'm a complete newbie in her world, but like so excited to catch all the things. I'm here for it, whatever it means.
Yay. I was like, Jessica and I are meeting at noon. So why don't you just come on in a little earlier? Come on in. I
I'm
love it.
excited. I'm excited to be here because she said, we're doing this thing. You have to come. Just
Come on,
kidding.
coach me, coach.
All right. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Quick time player, share sound, and let's see how this goes. All right. Why is Canva trying to
This
access
is
my
so cool. Okay, so use the chat to interact, and where and when we can, we'll interrupt and we can ask questions and I can give more feedback. Um, so proud of you.
Okay, you can see the screen right now. I'm gonna hit play, and then you can thumbs up that you can hear it too. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Oh yeah, I like the music. We can keep that on. Keep that going. I like it. Thank you guys. This is so awesome. What a perfect room to be in. I'm so excited to be here today. So excited to talk to you guys. So first let me ask a question. Who here wants to hear super simple life hack to insanely increase your creativity, your productivity, how much money you have in your bank account? Anybody interested in that?
Mm,
Yes?
pause.
Awesome. 'Cause
Yes.
that is part
Pause.
of what I'm gonna be talking
Pause.
about
Okay.
inside the epiphany.
I, I'm like, well, there's a million ways we could do this, right?
Yes.
So, yes, I felt it in my heart to say, who here loved how she opened, right? She, was excited to be there. She kind of rolled with the music. Did you guys see that? She had a lot of applause happening. And so she didn't try to overtalk it. That's like something that we accidentally do because we're so nervous, but she let it ride. That's why she danced for a few extra seconds. And then she started by saying, let me ask you a question. Who here, dot, 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 right? Do you guys see that? So that was A plus 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 plus. And no, I won't be grading you throughout, but I wanted to. And then Emily saying, I love the red blazer. And yes, I want to hear the life hack. All right, roll that footage.
Yay. Thank you. Okay. Epiphany effect. I have a few different frameworks. So I'm going to go into one of them today that's going to unlock a ton of that for you. But before I do, can I talk a little bit about how I came up with the epiphany effect, how I ended up here today with you beautiful people in Long Beach, California? Woo! Awesome. So as Kristin said, I started in corporate like you, 20 years. And I hit a state in my career that I was giving all of myself to this company, all of myself to the job that I had from, it wasn't 9 to 5 anymore. It starts creeping.
Okay, cool. So I want people to see what she's doing right now. Is this good, you guys? Right? So what she's doing right now is telling her main character story. On the interwebs, it's also called her system origin story. So she's starting off by telling us where she's been, not her whole life story, but where she started in, and she's about to teach us a system. So that's like a spoiler alert in the next 10, 11 minutes. She's going to teach us a system, but first she has to set the scene. So that's what she's doing here.
And taken over your whole life. And I specifically remember one night I was laying on my couch, doom scrolling on my phone after the Teams messages finally stopped coming in and the emails finally stopped coming in. And I'm playing on my phone and scrolling Netflix simultaneously. Who can relate? Who's been there? And Tony Robbins' I Am Not Your Guru comes up on Netflix. And I'm like, who is this guy? What is this? And there's something inside of me that starts getting stirred up. And I'm like, wait, I don't do jealousy. Like, what is this jealous feeling that I have right now of this man? I see the nods, so you guys understand what I'm talking about right now, right? I'm like, I wanna.
Okay, so great job. So another thing Anna's doing, she's telling her story, right? This is about her. But count how many times she says you. Have you ever X, Y, or Z? And then she just did it again. Have you? So it's her story, right? But she's bringing us along with the journey and making it relatable to us by saying, have you ever this? Do you know this person? Okay, keep going.
Be doing what he's doing. I don't want to be working this toxic corporate job, just absorbed in spreadsheets and spreadsheets.
Well, they're also that.
Yeah, yeah. And toxic corporate politics all day. I want to be on stages inspiring people to be the person that they're supposed to be. Woo, woo, woo! But how do I get there? I'm laying on this couch, doom scrolling, completely burnt out, nervous system so shot. And I have no idea how to get from where I am to this thing that I have, which I coined the term holy envy, because it was like this feeling that I got that I'm like, okay, hold on. I have to pay attention to this. Like, why am I feeling this way right now? And then I realized, oh, that's because this is my North Star. This is where I'm supposed to be aiming. This is something that's waking up. My destiny is waking up inside of me right now. So the next time you feel a little jealous or a little bit of that comparison, stop and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Because maybe it's not something that you should ignore or push down. Maybe it's something you should actually pay attention to. So it became my North Star. And then I'm like, well, what do I do now? Worked that corporate job for 20 years. It's all that I knew. I started as a sales associate, grew up in the company, became a corporate director. I've got the title and I've got the salary and I've got the golden handcuffs right along with it because I have no idea who I am without this place. And then I distinctly heard and felt God call me to quit that job and go on an adventure.
Woo!
And that's a long story for another day. But what did happen is I gave my resignation to this 20-year career and I decided I'm going to go on a road trip. I'm going to solo road trip this whole country. And I'm just going to just me and the road. I had always kind of had that, like, it was on my bucket list to do van life. So I'm like, this is kind of a bougier version of van life. I can still stay in Airbnbs along the way, but still get out and see the world. So I did. I gave my resignation to my 20-year career with no backup plan, with no idea what I was going to do. And side note, by the way, I remember negotiating with God at that time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take 6 weeks off, 6 weeks, and then I'm going to hit the ground running. And I felt a strong no in my spirit. It's going to be a lot longer than that. You're going to be taking some time off. And I was like, I don't like this. This is uncomfortable. So I hit the road. I still remember on my very first day of this road trip, a song came on the radio and it was, I Lost Track of Time. And I'm like, when's the last time I got to lose track of time? It's been so long since I wasn't clock watching, waiting for Friday, anxious all day Sunday, waiting for Monday. And I'm like, it's just me and my car and this road. And I don't even have reservations. Like, I don't even have to be anywhere at any certain time. The clock watching, the keeping track of time was gone. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is what are you doing with your time? And when's the last time you've really, truly, genuinely lost track of time?
So good.
So I have a question. Sorry, I'm starting to find it.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah, cool. And Emily, thank you for engaging in the Facebook chat at the same time. Okay, what did you all in the room hear from Anna in her story? What related to you? I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the chat. So what are some of you share some of that stuff out loud? This is really helpful, both for you to learn it and then for other people watching. Emily.
I like that Jessica put golden handcuffs in the chat. The first time I ever heard, this is so silly, but the first time I ever heard about golden handcuffs, I was at a conference and I was talking to this attorney that was drinking Coors Lights out of a bag. Like he brought a brown baggie of Coors Lights for the lunch. And he started talking about golden handcuffs being the way he kept his team. And at the time, I'm a team member and my boss is right there. And I'm thinking, what are these golden handcuffs? And I looked it up. Anyway, I felt relatable before my job. Leaving that, I had just gotten a big promotion, a big raise. Anybody who's anybody was like, "What? What do you mean you're leaving?" So that was so relatable. This whole thing has been super relatable, Anna. And the other thing too is like the no backup plan. Like how scary anybody who has even had a backup plan, but that could be to jump into that and just your bravery so far. It's like I want to follow her because she did something so brave, jumping into this thing with no backup plan. And then the third thing I'll just mention is I love that Kristin's pausing to be like, do you see what she's doing? So I highlighted some of those steps in the Facebook group to be like, how is she engaging the audience and stepping through her talk? So all of it's good. I probably have more takeaways too, but I'll just pause.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, go ahead, Anna.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that, and I agree. It's really good to hear Kristen's like feedback on. Sometimes we do things and we don't even realize why we're doing them, and so to have that be mirrored back of like, oh yes, that's what's happening here is so great. And thank you. I just appreciate the feedback.
These live watch parties are so fun. I need to do one of these once a week. But Jessica, I know you said you also loved the Freudian slip. And
Yeah.
yep. So come off mute and tell us a little bit about just in general.
Well, what I actually have loved is I do a lot of work with emotions. And so for me, Anna's emotional language that she says with her tone matches what she's talking about. And I think that's really important, not just for storytelling, but audience capture and in pulling them in and inviting them along. And so when she was talking about like the before she even said the inner turmoil or the inner like angst when she was watching Tony, she actually demonstrated it in her voice.
Almost
And
there.
then when she actually was talking, like when she actually talked about the golden handcuffs and all the things she said, like her voice went into this like flatline monotone, like this is pulling me down energy. So everything she's talking about, the shiftiness, like when I was negotiating with God, her body language and emotional tone in her voice actually matched this. I was negotiating. I knew it wasn't going to turn out the way I was wanting it to. And I think that that's really important for somebody to bring along in a story format, in any kind of presentation is there is somebody who can talk about something and then there's somebody that can bring you along emotionally, which energetically helps them keep pace with where you're going and they don't check out.
I thought I was coming here to get roasted today. This is awesome.
Great feedback.
Thank you guys.
The chills over here. Yeah. Like, thank you, Jessica, for saying something I wouldn't have, which was the tone, like how she's talking to us, voice tone and style all matter. I mean, we talk about that, this isn't about me in my mentorship, but I wouldn't have said it right now. So thank you for saying that. No roast, Emily says. This is not a roast. Okay, well, so the reason I wanted to stop there was because I know what's about to happen. First of all, you guys are going to love her system. It's Ninja. And second of all, she was bridging us, right, from her main character story to the system she's about to teach us. Okay, so go ahead.
Actually, I have something to tell you guys. Do you know that there's an enemy in this room right now? Your enemy is in this room right now. It's an enemy that masquerades as your best friend. It's an enemy that's actually stealing all of your creativity and your best ideas. You called it. It's your phone. It's your device. When's the last time you let yourself get into that just dream state of zoning out? And do you know that there's a part of your brain that is your most creative, ideative? That's the part of your brain that's coming up with your best next business idea. It's only activated when you hit a state of boredom. When's the last time you were actually bored? We don't even sit in waiting rooms without anymore. So like when you realize, why do I always get my best ideas in the shower or when I'm driving? It's because there's this part of your brain that literally only wakes up in that state of boredom. So this thing right here, this GPS got me around the whole country. That ChatGPT helps me brainstorm. But if you become over reliant on it, if you don't catch yourself and realize how addicting it is, our brains are trained at this point to look at this every 8 seconds. Every 8 seconds. That's a lot. Not only that, we're training ourselves to get these quick, cheap dopamine hits every time we open this phone. Notification pops up. Do you really just look at that notification and put your phone back down? Do you know that the way that they have made this device and all the apps associated with it are programmed to keep us addicted? Do you know that the scroll is modeled after slot machines? They want us stuck in this all the time. So in the Epiphany Effect system, I have a framework, self-care for CEOs. And
okay, I just hello. People are going off in the chat. First of all, what you just did there was incredible, right? But the first thing she did was she pointed out the enemy. Oh, so good. She pointed out the enemy, and then she told us a story so that we would remember it, and she made it relatable because it was about our phones. And I know I probably did what Emily just did, and I held up my phone in the live event. And what else did she do? She gave us statistics. She talked about, I don't know if you actually said neuroscience and stuff, but because I talk about some of the same stuff, I happen to know it's rooted in neuroscience. So there you go. There's some feedback, right? Bring it anytime we're talking on a stage and we can point to the research based in neuroscience. It just further elevates you and gives you more credibility, gives your statistic, your talk, your system more credibility. So I know that because of Say Yes and Figure It Out. So that's good feedback, I suppose. Point to the research for elevation. I love, Gina says, I don't know if you want to come off mute real quick, Gina, and give us any feedback, and then we'll get back into it.
Oh, I was just going to say, I love the cadence when you speak, Anna. You take those pauses at the most impactful times, and that's something I'm definitely noticing a lot in this speech.
Thank you.
all right, who's ready for the next part?
Okay, here we go.
I have seven steps in this framework. I'm going to cover 3 of them today. So the first I call power hour. And I think I might have stolen that term from somebody, but I don't remember who it was anymore, but I'm going to give the credit just in case I did. Who knows? The power hour is protecting the very first and very last part of your day. I see you nodding ferociously because you know this. We talked about this. You do this, and it's impacted your life, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It changed everything.
Yeah.
It changed everything.
Yeah.
Meditation, envisioning, walking first thing in the morning, and
Mhm.
sure off all electronics, turning the phones off, over, done, the legs off.
Yeah.
How we fall asleep.
Yes. I love it.
Changes everything. I feel at peace.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. So the power hour, it's protecting the first part and the last part of your day. Why specifically those parts rather than your lunchtime? Because the first part of your day, how many of us are using this as our alarm clock? I'm guilty. It's my alarm clock. But you check your alarm, then what happens? Oh, you got the email and you got the note, and might as well check Facebook. And now Sam's dog died that you knew in high school and you haven't talked to in 20 years. And oh, that's so sad. And your whole energy is consumed with this device now from the first thing in the morning. Your brain's actually trained then to get these quick dopamine hits, and it's setting your whole day up for that. So if you could replace the first 30 minutes of your day and give yourself some boundaries, what could change? You have boundaries in every other relationship in your life. You have boundaries with your spouse, you have boundaries with your kids, you have boundaries with your clients. Do you have boundaries with this device? Because it's up to you to create them. It's literally programmed to try to encroach upon those boundaries. So you have to be very disciplined in making them. And then the last part of your day, again, because you want to ease and flow into the night, and actually the amount of dopamine that you get in the evening is setting up your dopamine craving for the next day too. Not a neuroscientist, just read a lot of books. um, okay, so that is the power hour. Um,
So good. Okay, she said, I have 7 steps in my system or my framework, right? And because she got coached by me, I believe anytime you're on a stage, virtual or in person, it's main character story, how I discovered the system I'm about to teach you, and you always teach a system. That's what makes it relatable and actionable insights. And we don't have enough time in a 20-minute talk to do 7 steps. And I would argue, even in an hour, it just becomes information overload. So pick the 2 to 3 steps, depending on how long you have, that are going to have the most impact on the audience, and then let them be left wanting more. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is, I gotta keep thinking about it and I forgot. Okay, I'll write it down next time there's something else about what you're doing. It's like so good. But anyway, everybody's like loving this, so I don't know if we have to pause for more takeaways, but you can just keep playing.
Can I just say that I loved when you did this with your hands when you were taking in the feedback from whoever was speaking to you in the room. Like you were really receiving whatever she was saying. And I thought that that demonstrated so much care to your audience. Like you truly genuinely are there with them and taking in their thoughts and like holding space for them. So I enjoyed that.
Thank you. Thank you. Step in the self-care for CEOs. Any questions about the power hour before I move on to the next step? Okay. So the next step is going to be, I call it no meeting Mondays. It can
Woo!
be no meeting other day for you that works for you. I like no meeting Mondays because I like to be super rebellious against my old life, which was scary Sundays and like these treacherous, it was the all hands leadership calls on Mondays that were like, they would drain the life out of you from the very beginning. So I'm like, I'm going to ease into my week now. Nobody can talk to me on Mondays. I work, but I work on the things that I want to work on. I am able to get into that state of flow and ease and just create. My energy is not getting pulled into 100 different directions because I know that I have time blocked for Monday. So if it's not Monday for you, it could be a different day. If you think that is just too much to handle right now, at least time blocking some white space for yourself. That is your no contact time. Nobody gets access to you. You are not in meetings. You are not answering the phone. It's just your time. I say I'm meeting with the board, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, because it's my time to really go into like prayer and have that time with God on that day for me. And it's a discipline, but it's the best discipline I've ever done for myself. So that's the no meeting Mondays. Then the final step that I'm going to share with you is the eliminating your energy vampires.
Ooh.
And there is you go in so many different directions. So I'm a core energy coach. I love talking energy and frequencies, and how much it impacts everything in life. Your vibe really does impact everything in life. Um, Energy vampires. You guys, we didn't become entrepreneurs to allow clients into our life that are now like the worst boss that you ever had, right? Like you are doing this because you are empowering yourself to have options. So if you have a client that's like, oh, every time they call or you look at your phone, cut them off. You're allowed, you have permission to work with the people that are empowering you and filling you up as much as you are doing for them. So is it a poverty mindset that we're accepting every single person that comes our way? Is it a feeling of lack? Is it people pleasing? Because you're allowed to have those boundaries. So if it's not for clients, is it a relationship in your life? Again, do like a pressure check on yourself. If somebody calls you and you get a feeling in your body that's not like, yay, why are we in relationship with this person? Right? Like same thing. Kristin talked about your Instagram audit. That's so great, right? Like pay attention as you're scrolling your social media, that person that's always bringing you down or negative that you just get a "Ugh" feeling, unfriend them or at least unfollow. You don't have to have it in your world all the time, right? So you are allowed to create those boundaries. You have the power to decide what gets your energy. And if it's not feeding you, if it's not serving you, you're allowed to create those boundaries and exit those relationships. I want to do a quick activity before we close.
All right. So she's telling us where we're going, right? And so there's how much time is left anyway? I can't see that.
Well, we go into Q&A, but we're at 14 minutes out of 21. So like
Okay. So this would be, well, what we were talking about right before. I would cap it right after you before the Q&A.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's so cool? Okay, what other takeaways did you hear from her 3-step framework? Let's do that first and then I know there's so many things. Jessica, do you want to come off mute and talk about the way she's establishing authority?
Yeah, I thought it was really appropriate because I know with storytelling and transformation and small presentations, like that's not necessarily something we want to waste time in. We don't want to show up and say, this is who I am and what I do and blah, 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 because we lose the audience and the connectivity. Like they don't tap into that. But I loved how it was slipped in at the appropriate time. She was in the middle of the framework. She'd already told the story. She'd already engaged them in a portion of their transformation. Even though she's going to do this exercise, like they've already had this transformation. You can hear it in her voice and in her in the audience when she talks about like the power hour. And you could hear the audience tank in their energy, like they dived into this place that was heavy, and she brought them right back up before she switched into from point 1 into point 2 because she ended with like and also the end of the day. So she didn't leave him stuck in heavy energy. So she's doing this work. And then in between 2 and 3, she's like, and so just so you know, I'm a core energy coach. So she threw that out there. Like this is establishing her authority in what she does. She's not just randomly like, hey, I went through this big transformation in my life and here's some things you should know about it. Also, I have authority in this area. So there's this perfect setup for what she's actually going to talk to in point 3 so that by the time they get to the transformational activity, they already know, like, bio read, stories told, whatever before, if they only captured this 20 minutes of her, that there is an authority piece here that already prompts them to, first of all, they want to know the rest of the 4 steps, but they also know that she's an authority in this area to actually lead them through the rest of the steps.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much for that feedback. Yes.
Anybody else? So good. Anybody else dying to know the other 4 steps? Emily says yes.
I
Okay.
loved it. I loved when you talked about boundaries, like, actually a couple different times. One was just having boundaries with this device, and then you rolled into where else boundaries could show up, like, throughout. Boundaries with your calendar, boundaries with no meetings, boundaries with people or things or stuff that you see that drains your energy, and I had never thought about that, so that was brilliant too.
Thank you. Yeah, I realized afterwards that the 3 steps that I chose, all 3 of them have something to do with boundaries. So it was interesting, like, okay, maybe that's just the message that needed to be shared this day. But yeah, it was all boundaries around your energy, boundaries around your phone, boundaries around your time. So thank you.
And I like that you're encouraging and reassuring your audience that, like, hey, you're allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed to block your time. You're allowed to not have to pick up the phone all the time if it's something that's going to cost you, like, your your well being in that moment. So I love that you're starting to like encourage and give them the permission that maybe they haven't given themselves just yet on the stuff that you're talking about. So great.
Thank you. Okay.
So then the last thing I wanted to say about all of this is, remember at the beginning how she said she riffed part of this?
Mm.
Here's why. So it's so important to know your audience. And we said that already. Like, you can see it's a smallish room. And that's why then we did a lot of Q&A, and she was kind of asking the audience, like, you wouldn't really normally do that. You're not encouraging audience feedback unless it's shout yes. And so everyone's saying yes or something. But know your environment, know your room. Most importantly, what I love about Anna's talk is the day before this talk, we had one of our every other week, bi-weekly meetings for our year-long mastermind. And in that meeting, we collectively as a group started talking about time management and boundaries for the entire hour and a half. It was one of our best calls we collectively said ever. And because Anna is so knowledgeable, passionate, this is like literally one of her core business strengths. She decided at the 11th hour, because those people who were in the call, virtual or in person at my house, we were the ones going to this live event in person or virtual. And so she customized her talk that day on the fly, like overnight. Right? And so Anna, just tell us a little bit about that more, because that's so critical to like hearing what people are wanting and going in further to make your talk resonate that much more with the audience.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm huge on reading the room, even in these, like in this call right now. That's why I'm always come off video because I'm reading the room. I'm reading facial expressions. I'm reading reactions. And so for me, it's really important, like Kristen just said, to feel out the audience, feel out the people that are in whatever meeting or orbit that I'm in to see what it is that how they're responding and what it is that they might need and pivot to that. Um, Also, I'll tie back in the talk because for me, it was hearing all that feedback. But to be honest with you, it was then taking that to my quiet time and being like, okay, what do I need to do? Right. And like letting God, because that's for me, it's like Holy Spirit, like letting God speak to me and be like, this is the direction that you need to go. And without having quiet time, boundaries, no screen time in the morning and at night, you don't open yourself up to be able to hear and receive the same way as when you do. So it was a combination of hearing what the needs were, but then tapping into my own like inner guide and asking what it is that was needed in the room and going with that. So okay, we're gonna watch the activity before we close this thing out. All right, cool. It's very quick, but I think it's gonna be really powerful. And Kristen kind of confirmed it because she referenced something earlier, but I'm not gonna give it away yet.
Ooh.
Okay. You guys wanna do a quick activity?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want you to look around the room for me. And I want you to find everything in the room that's green.
Oh.
uh-huh.
Oh.
Okay, close your eyes.
Oh.
Okay, keep them closed. Tell me everything in the room that's blue. Keep them closed. No cheating. Yeah, that's good. There are bright blue lights in the room. So
Something
that would be
Nicole's wearing, I think. What,
Yeah.
isn't Nicole wearing blue?
maybe. Okay, but if I asked you to tell me the blue stuff, you could tell me, right?
The green stuff?
Yeah, sorry, the green stuff, you could tell me, right? Okay, open your eyes. Look at how much blue, the whole room is kind of blue, guys. There's
Oh,
so
the
much blue
light.
in this room. There's
Oh,
blue
my book.
pens, there's blue everywhere. Why couldn't you tell me the blue things that were in the room?
The reticular activating system.
The reticular activating system, the part of your brain that will only find what you are looking for.
So good.
So what are you looking for? Yes. 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 And so for the next day and a half, as we go through the rest of the activities and everything else, you need to make sure that your reticular activating system is looking for all the reasons this is going to work for you. It's looking for all the reasons why this is your destiny and this is something that's going to happen for you, and not the reasons why not. Because you will find what you are looking for. Thank you.
Baller. Oh, I didn't know it was off.
Yay! That was fun. wasn't as terrible as I was like anticipating, putting myself on the spot. Thank you guys so much.
I think I love it because she has one little activity left for us that she'll do to honor where we're all like, oh my God, now I want some boredom time, some quiet time, some meditation time. So stick with us. She's about to do something super fun. But is there any other feedback for Anna? Like, I thought you killed it for all of the reasons we already interrupted on. And this is my second one of these this week, I said, and I think I need to do one a week because these are so fun. So thank you for being vulnerable and putting yourself out there and being so coachable.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for your time and all your feedback before and during and after. It's been awesome to be able to get that and then apply it and then watch the outcome of it too. It's been super fun. So I appreciate you, Kristin, and
I'll
you guys.
I'll find the Spotify. I'll find the podcast link and I'll put it in the Facebook because if you were late, what happened was we did a live hot seat to get her ready for this, and then she went in a couple weeks, presented live, and she did so good. She killed it. So, anybody else want to give her some positive words of affirmation or?
I just had a question. So I know that she did Q&A after this talk, but at any point was the framework or the setup at any point to actually get them connected to you for the other 4 points of the system?
That's actually a great point. When I did a hot seat with Kristin the next day, I had asked her a question around like, how do I really make connections for future clients and things here? And she's like, have you asked? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
So
So I didn't, I don't know the context of the audience, and that would have been my takeaway is like, you did these great 3 things and you did this activity. They had a transformation or they had an aha in that moment. And anytime transformation is created, people want more transformation. And so I'm obviously not your coach, but from somebody that would have been watching it, I would have said like, okay, how do I connect? And that bridge, that would have been a good bridge for me to see. It's like, hey, look, we worked on 3 points. We brought awareness into what you're looking for. Maybe you've come into purview of what that one thing is. And if you want the rest of the parts of the system, here's how we connect to get that, or here's where you find me, or here's what it looks like for us to actually explore that. So that they have a clear cut and walking away, like they're pulling out their phones to actually scan a QR code or type in your name or send a text message to a system. Like they do it before you leave the stage. Because once they go out of the energy of you, the chances of them doing that are not going to happen the same way. People in the moment will follow up with energy that they're feeling from the person they're with. When they step away from that energy, they don't follow up the same way, even if they've had a significant transformation because they come out of the bubble of what they've experienced. So that would be
And
my
that, give it up for Jessica. That's excellent, excellent feedback. We did you implemented a talk, so she did have a QR code, and we did all of that stuff. Yeah. And B, this was just like an inner circle mastermind, but also your feedback is imperative for everybody watching to understand that absolutely, if you're not capturing people in the moment, that
Mhm.
moment has passed. So if nothing else, do something. But
Yeah,
it
and
was-
even to end with, like, a reminder sprinkler. There's 4 more steps.
Mhm.
Here's where you're gonna find those. It'd be great.
Well, they say, you tell people what you're gonna tell them, you tell them the thing, and then you tell people what you've told them. So
Mhm.
you like the summary of like, "Hey, I've given you these 3 steps. I know you really wanna know more. They were so powerful for me and how I finished my story or how I navigated that time, space, or whatever. Here's how we get to those." And so they're like, "Oh, yeah, there's 4 more. Wait, there's more." Like, they want the more. They're yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. We have a couple more minutes left. Before you guys go, I want to lead you in a little bit of a meditative activity and also announce something. Is that okay? So, in just a couple of months, Kristen and I are actually going to create a space where you can have this time where you have your intuition come alive and activated and peace and rest in an environment that is completely identity shifting. So, we are hosting an event. I'm gonna just say it now, and then we're gonna watch the video. We're hosting an event in July. It's gonna be at the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Beach. So I have a video just to show you where we're going and what I would encourage you to do, because it's 2 minutes long and there's no talking. I want you to just go into the video. Like, regardless if you think you're gonna come with us or not, use this time to go into the video, experience what it's like to just be at peace and at rest in an environment like this. And yeah, Bru's gonna share it for me. So just let yourself go and let yourself be there. And remember the power and the impact that it has when you allow yourself to rest, when you allow yourself to just be, and when you allow yourself the gift of being in spaces like this too. So, Rue, if you're ready, we can go ahead and take it away. It was a little bit laggy, but we will have that video available. I probably am gonna do even a voiceover meditation for you guys. So if you want to watch it again and again, you can. And Kristen, is there something else?
Oh no, I just like, has anyone ever been to that Ritz or just me? There's something that happens when you step in a more upscale hotel, and, like, the crazy thing is the Ritz is just the Ritz at the end of the day. Like, as much of a hotel snob as I am, truly, it is, and it is such an elevated experience. There is something so magical about this Ritz that no incredible video, no amount of pictures can do justice to until you step inside. And I love it so much. I will be there not once, not twice, but 3 times this summer alone. Every time I walk into that Ritz, I make multiple 5 figures. In fact, last summer, I took my kids on our very first staycation, me and just my 2 kids, and that one time I made $10,000, and I'm with my kids while I was checking in at line. And another time I went and I met a client for brunch. We had mimosas because the view of the restaurant overlooking the Pacific Ocean, it's one of those places where literally you could show up at 9 a.m. for an early brunch, a late breakfast, and stay until noon. There's you just like, has anybody here ever lived on the ocean? One year I was I lived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida for 5 years. And one of those years I lived right on the ocean and I already worked from home. And we were in a skyrise. Like my desk, all I could see out the horizon was the ocean. I could see the dolphins. I could see the water spouts. Just like looking at a campfire. Who here loves going camping, right? Or like having a campfire in your backyard, how it becomes so meditative. All of this is what happened there. And so that's why for me, my future masterminds will be on a private yacht. And all of my clients know that, my close friends. This is kind of one of those bridges that gets us from wherever we are to start upgrading our identity. And it's why if you've never been there, again, like the video was incredible, but nothing will do it justice until you physically step foot in that place and watch your own transformation. That is all I have to say.
Mm-mm-mm. I'm so excited. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much. And if you want more information about Riches at the Ritz, just reach out to myself or Kristen. We'll get that to you. I appreciate you guys being here so much and your feedback. So next LFG Live, let's go. And I'll talk to you guys all soon. Thank you.
Good job, Anna.
So awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. I don't know how to do.